All right, we're live.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I just saw Josh outside. He's outside with his kids. Hey, Josh. Um, happy. What's today? It's Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. How the heck are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Oh, I'm realizing my headphones aren't on. It's okay though. I'm good. I'm good. I'm now. I think we're leaving today. We're in the Poconos. My dad built a house here in like the '70s, so we still have it. So everything is it's outdated, but it's fun. It's like nostalgic now. So that's what we're doing, and I think we're maybe leaving today. I might be leaving later. Might not be leaving later. I don't know, but it feels good that we're not in a rush. Where are you headed to?
I just left Orange Theory and I just pulled into my driveway.
Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy back on track with his
Right?
goals.
I'm just trying to dive right back in, and we're gonna do the authentic walk into my house. This isn't an edited show. This is real life. This is like Big Brother with dads and a bunch of kids living in our house, kind of.
It's what I think about often, and well, here's two thoughts. Can I share two thoughts with you?
I'd love to hear your two thoughts.
First thought is this. First thought, which is kind of out of nowhere. Well, no, it's all attached to this. But sometimes I think about, because I'm about to say something about him, but sometimes I'm like, is Gary Vaynerchuk the best person to be taking parental advice from? And so I'm not saying yes or no, and I'm not doubting anything, but I'm just always curious. Like, is it the person just because we're attached to it in some kind of way? But that's just on my mind sometimes. The other one is that something that sticks in my head though, and why I brought him up, is he said that the next thing that he believes is going to be at the forefront of all things social media is when people are going to be streaming their life live. So is it reality TV? I guess a little bit different if that's going to be the case. But I think more than anything, he was like, there's going to be a mom or a dad somewhere where they're going to be live streaming from their kitchen as they get ready for the day. And then that person is going to be doing it so often, they're going to have a following that someone like Kellogg's is going to want to sponsor them. And I think about you, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? If Blaze did just live stream things in the best way possible, he could be that. So
I turned my camera off because I'm delivering. Oh, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, gotcha.
I turned the camera off because I'm delivering coffee to my wife.
While we're there,
respectful. She hasn't signed the dotted line to be on.
That's so good. While you're doing that, I'll say good morning to MP. Good morning to Brofit. Good morning to Chels. Chels. I can't figure out how I get in the middle of this screen right now. Chels, good morning to you. I'm so impressed. So impressed by Chels.
Oh, sorry.
Chels did her sports card stream, and she thought of it. She wanted it. She made it happen, and it turned out well. So congrats, Chels. You did a great job.
Were you talking about her sports show?
Yeah.
Oh, she did a great job. I didn't win any packs. I bet on a couple, but I loved, I didn't know any of these sports players. And either Chelsea convinced me that she knew all these people by name because she rehearsed, or she does such good pronunciation that she should be like one of those announcers or something like that. It was crazy.
Oh, hey, you guys want to see a snail?
Yeah, sure.
This is the most snail-looking snail I've ever seen. You see that?
Oh my gosh.
Right? That's so snail-like.
That's a textbook snail right there.
This is textbook snail. I've never seen a snail so snail-like. What should I do? It's in the middle of the road. Should I move it? I'm gonna move it. Oh, look, he went back in his home. This is the most snail. Hey, snail. Wait, we have a snail. Isn't there like a befriend snail? No.
I know there's the slaying slug. I'm trying to think if there's a snail.
I don't think so. All right, snail. I'm gonna put you away. Awesome. Oh wait, you know what? That snail was trying to go across the street.
You know what? This feeds in great to today's meditation when we get there, but we have to share gratitude first.
Okay. Guys, just say goodbye to the snail.
Bye, Mr. Snail.
Okay, thanks, guys. All right, that's that. Go for it.
I am just thankful that and have gratitude because I made it to the gym today. I didn't go to bed till midnight, but I still got up at 6:45, made it to Orange Theory at 7:15, and just a great day to start the day. My ankle's tweaked, so I didn't go full tilt, but we burned some calories and we're just attacking the day. And now we're here together on episode 99. I got 99 episodes and hundreds tomorrow, so that's gonna be great.
99, no problems. You got no problems, right? Is that?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to do that.
That's it.
How many splat points did you get today?
That's I didn't. It wasn't a big splat because they did 3G, and so you were on the rower, then you were on the floor, then you were on the treadmill. So I only got like 6 or 7. The goal's 12 every day. But that's right. We still made it, and that's it.
Oh, well, good, man. I like that. Robbie, I see you in the chat too. Thanks, Robbie. I was about to stream from home. I had time for a little bit of content creation this morning. I got an abbreviated workout in, push-ups, because I know I can do this every day. But now I'm getting my steps in because Robbie's on my mind. I'm using Robbie as my motivation for getting my steps back up after a really busy August. This has been the busiest August I can remember in my life. Just like not really at home. I haven't been able to like do any like gnome rehoming videos because I just haven't been there, and I feel bad because people really went out of their way to give me some of those and then create the content. It's just busy, man. Just busy.
Man.
Steps up. So anyway, you know what? I'm grateful specifically for Robbie.
Love it.
Robbie, you're my gratitude for today.
He gave me a tweak, so I love my tweak. I need to jump back in that Discord. MP's sharing gratitude, already gave the baby a bath, played Papa Shot with the boys, smoking meat, made coffee. He's doing everything. That's awesome. MP, I had a question for you. Since you got a new baby at home, do you guys do skin to skin? I'm curious. I'm a big skin to skin advocate for dads and new babies at home. And if there's any other MPs in the chat, if there's any other gratitude that people want to put in the chat, would love to see it. So today's meditation, if you guys don't know, this is like Blaze's favorite month because we're talking about reading all month. And if you guys don't know, I love to read. We already had a great discussion yesterday about what are some books that we think every kid should read. And since yesterday, what did we do? We interviewed Bryson and already shared his top 5 lists that he thinks every kid should read.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Thank you. I hope to get some other parents and kids involved, and I'd love to hear their kids' top 1 or top 3 or top 5. Ryan and I already exchanged books. We're sending each other Amazon books for each other to read, trying to get Dom in there too. So we'd love to hear in the chat or on X or anywhere, what are some books that you think every kid should read? And then what are some books that every parent should read? And now that I'm reflecting on it, I sent Ryan a book that I don't think just every parent should read. I just wanted to send him a fun book. So I hope that he enjoys it. And if he doesn't, well, I don't know if we'll make it to episode 200.
I tried Mike for a second because there's a blower going. I sent you a book that I knew of. I actually didn't read completely myself, which is basically my whole academic career. I only finished maybe like 5% of books that I was ever assigned, which I think is actually not the wrong thing because I don't think you have to finish every single book. But
oh no.
Anyway, that's just me. So I sent you what I thought was going to be a really good book, and I'm excited about it. I do have one question though, because I had, with the intention of like whatever the purpose is of this month, right? I think it's getting us to read, to show our kids reading. So I brought up with Sloan. Now, Sloan is not the most avid reader. And I know your daughter is a very strong reader. So I asked Sloan, I was like, Blaze and I exchanged some books. Would you want to exchange a book with DeMille? And so she said, yeah, I'd love to. I said, well, what book would you send her? So she had said a book, which I think might be a little bit below DeMille's reading level, and it's a series. So I was going to ask you if you think it was going to be a good idea to do it or not, but I thought it'd be a cool thing.
Ryan, we already sent you guys a kid's book. It was going to be a surprise, but you brought it up, so now I have to bring it up. We
Oh,
sent you guys a
nice.
book. Yeah. Um, it's a picture book. But I think it's a book that it's Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. I didn't.
Okay.
Have you guys read that one before?
Um, no, we haven't.
Oh man, you're gonna be like shocked on how great that this book is. It's all about be careful what you wish for, and it is
Okay.
just so stinking good. It's
Okay.
gonna blow your
Good.
mind.
Then,
Um,
then we'll do the same. Maybe we'll not think about reading level as much as overall message. How's that?
Love it. Um, let's see. We got Brofit with gratitude. He's talking about going to the ballpark and getting cotton candy. He was dancing on the bleachers or on the dugout. Oh man, they had an awesome day at the ballpark. Um, awesome. I have to
Whenever I
go
think
look at
of,
your feed now and look at pictures.
whenever I think of MP, I think of MP just like having the best agenda for his family and him just smiling 100% of the time.
Oh, did I say MP? I meant Brofit. I'm sorry.
Oh, Brofit. You
Yeah.
know what? I will apply the same thing to Brofit.
I love it. And then Craig's in the chat. Craig, what is up? Man, I wanted to do a post yesterday to celebrate our Australian dads, and I didn't because I'm pretty sure that yesterday was Australian Father's Day.
Was.
So I just wanted to say happy um, Australian Father's Day. Do they still call it Father's Day? Is it something else? But happy Australian Father's Day, and so glad to have you guys in the community. Um, and then Craig. Oh yeah, Craig wants everyone to read the Four Agreements, and I can second and third that. Whenever I'm having a tough time, I'm always going back to that book. Um, it's Father's Day here too. Well, yeah, we're talking about you. Um, grateful for the opportunity to walk this morning, had coffee, snuggles with puppies, kisses from the wife. Oh man, that's just the dream. I just kissed my wife after I gave her coffee. All right. What did you think? First impressions of today's meditation. What is it called today? I don't have it in front of me. Let's see.
The title, it's about storytelling.
Yeah.
So I like today. So for September 2nd, Ryan Holiday starts off the meditation with a quote from Abraham Lincoln. And I'm going to paraphrase as best as I can remember. But basically, Abraham Lincoln is agreeing to something that someone said and says, yes, I tell a lot of stories. And more or less what he's saying is that he's like, yeah, you know what? I tell stories. And I don't think he's agreeing that say he's like lying in it. He's just like the best way to actually get a point across or to teach someone is through a story versus trying to just tell them directly. And I agree. I think it's good. I like storytelling. I've tried to become better at storytelling. I think the people who can stand on a stage and speak to people and connect with them are the best storytellers. So that's exactly what I think I agree with. I think goes on to say, and goes on to kind of talk about he mentions Jesus basically. And Blaze, I'm gonna look to you for some help in case I miss something here, because you are a more religious person than I am. But
I got you.
the grade in this hill is a little bit higher than I thought. Basically saying that like Jesus never told anyone what to do, and he spoke in basically stories, which I don't know. It was mentioned as the parable. I don't know what the word is.
Parable, yeah.
Okay,
Parable.
so
Parable is just like a story metaphor.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's basically what he was saying. Was that Jesus never said anything directly, but that's how he taught people. And I was like, oh, it's interesting. So, and kind of like goes Ryan Holiday goes on. Oh my God, why is that so much harder than I thought? But yeah, so the lesson here is we don't need to tell people directly exactly what they need to do or what we want them to do, but we can share stories. And so it led me to going upstairs where my dad was said, Dad, what is one of the best lessons that someone or you have had to basically share with someone, not by telling them directly, but by storytelling? So I thought it was an excellent, thought provoking meditation.
Did he tell you a good story you can share or no?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
No. Um, but we did just basically come to the conclusion that you could make up a story for almost anything. And so, uh, I use the example that I always tell my girls this. I always say, like, whenever we're doing something fun, like the ocean, when we're at the beach, I always say the ocean is fun but dangerous. And so it's always my line to say, we're going to have so much fun, but we have to be really aware of things. And so I was like, we could easily take that instead of continuing to say that one line, because at some point you can become desensitized. I was like, why don't we make sure that we understand how to speak that story? And so I think there's a way you can outline a really good story for people. But,
Uh-huh.
I said, when I was younger, I had a friend and, we were tossing things into the ocean, and then whatever the ball we were playing with kind of got stuck out on the waves, and my friend went in to go get it, and we're having a really good time. We weren't really thinking, and then my friend got pulled out in a rip current, and we saw him drowning, and we couldn't really get to him really safely, but luckily we had talked about the ocean before that, and my friend had remembered to swim out and then swim parallel to the beach and then swam back in. But we're having fun, but it's also dangerous. So we have
Oh
to,
my gosh, when was that? That's scary.
this worked perfectly because it wasn't a real story.
Oh.
So, but telling my girls that I think is really important. So that's like, it's storytelling. It's grabbing attention more than just repeating the same line.
I love that. I was thinking about stories that people have told me over the years, and one of the ones, there's a time in my life where I was trying to figure out if I wanted to go do something or not. And the story is supposed to be about a worm. So if you guys look at our X, there's a picture of a worm in a jar. But we're going to do a snail today with this story because it's Ryan found a snail. So I was trying to make this decision about if I should go do something or not. And my dad was like, okay, well, these kids in a classroom found two worms, and they both put the worms in the jar. They provided the worms with everything that they needed. And one day the teacher came in and said, listen, we can't have two pet worms in the classroom. We got to let one go. So at lunch that day, they packed some bags for the worm and took him outside, and they let him go out in the playground, out in like the woods so he was safe to not getting crushed. And they bid that worm a farewell. And so they went back to their room and said hi to the worm that they still had. And then the teacher asked the class this question: who's the happier worm? The worm that got to go back out into the world and, have his adventures and go see what he could, or possibly die and be crushed under someone's foot? Or is the worm the happier worm that just stays in this jar his whole life, has everything he needs, doesn't really have to work, but is still comfortable and all of his needs are met? And so my dad always asked me, like, who's the happier worm? And for me personally, I always jumped, well, the worm that got to go try and see the world, even if he died or not. My dad didn't say the die part, but I threw that part in there because you just never
Dude, I
know.
see a coyote right now. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's
What's
all right.
going on?
Well, be careful. Don't get attacked.
I know.
So the thought was always, who's happier, those that get to stay in comfort and have everything they need, or those that try and get out in the world? And so I always identify more with the worm that goes out there, but I'm sure there's some people that just want to be more comfortable. And I'm sure people's past and upbringing have a lot to do with it too. And I know there's times in my life where I am the worm in the jar. And if I was to think about it right now, sometimes I feel like I'm more like the worm in the jar and I want to be more the worm on the playground. And so I always go back to that story whenever I'm at a crux or like think about like what I want to do. So there you go. Story of the snail or the worm.
I like that. And if anything, I think it just brings up conversation,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so many things where we can say to our kids, or we just hear and we just, we shake it off and yeah, I get it. So I think as parents, okay, I have a question. Do you think if we wanted to take a next step in parenting, we want to be able to talk to our kids or teach our kids or anyone, do you think we need to become a better storyteller?
Oh yeah, 1,010%. Storytelling is a great way to communicate. And it's like I can tell somebody, you need to listen to what I say, you need to listen to what I say, you need to listen to what I say 100 times. But then you tell the story of like the kid that was under the apple tree and his dad said, son, lie down and roll away from the tree. So he'd lie down and roll it away from the tree. And his dad said, look at the tree. And there was like a rattlesnake like coming down from the tree to bite him. And if he would have stood up and said, Dad, are you telling me to do this? Blah, 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 blah. And so I think just stories teach such powerful lessons. And if you go back to the meditation, Ryan talks about that these stories should be self-evident. So like in that story, I'm just like, the snake came out of the tree, oh, a snake's going to bite this little kid and could kill him. But if I was like, a clown fell out of the tree, you'd be like, what does that have to do with anything? And so I think it just goes back to like, I always think about like keeping it simple, like KISS, keep it simple.
Stupid.
I don't like saying stupid though, but
How about
I
keep it
think
simple?
keep it simple. What?
I just said keep it simple.
Oh, keep it simple,
So,
Sally.
like, you're like doubling down on simple.
Oh, there you go.
Although
So,
I do use that often with clients. I think it gets them to perk up a little bit. So I'm sure kids do it too. But yeah, you don't want kids saying stupid and then repeating that to their friends.
I love this story from Art. Robbie was saying, when my kiddos were young, I would tell them a story how I sold lots of software police department. So I had friends that could analyze their toothbrushes and see if they were used or just wet. It's a story in tale. They brushed their teeth for a bit before we had to tell another story. That's awesome. Oh, keep it simple, simpleton. I like that one too. And then Craig was saying they had some great conversations with his ex-wife. And I just love that not everyone has that time when someone's closing the book of their life to like have those conversations. So it looks like you guys are having some really meaningful conversations right now. So that's beautiful.
I think that's the thing that I feel like you might be very aware of this is I think having those kind of conversations and the comfort in knowing how to have conversations. I always think about that. And I think whenever I talk with a hospice worker, a lot of hospice workers always have not great life advice, but I think a great understanding of, there's scary things to talk about, but the more we talk about them or how we talk about them is incredibly beneficial for everybody. So out there.
100%. And then going back to stories, my wife and her family, they have like this saying, like, don't be a pig and a baby. And I need to get the story behind that, but it has something to be like, don't ask for all this stuff and then whine when you get it or something like, I don't know, but I always think it's funny. Like, don't be a pig and a baby. It's really funny to me.
Did you say don't be a pig in a baby or pig?
Don't be a pig and a baby.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. I see that. Okay.
Is there any other? I'm trying to think what other stories I share with our kids. There's a story of a rabbit where it's like, if you get something, be happy with it. Don't like refuse it or something. I don't know. My parents, when we grew up, were always like, don't be a rabbit. I'm trying to think if there's, no, that's not a good story. Do you have any other good stories for your kids?
It's not so much of a story, I guess, but just like retelling of a book. I've mentioned this book a couple times. My favorite book in the world for a kid to and read them just kind of about emotions and how we can handle them on both ends of it is The Rabbit Listened. It's my favorite book. And because basically it shows, how you can support a friend that is having a certain emotion. And I think it's how you can also accept your emotions with it too. And how, you don't always need to give someone a solution to their feeling as much as you need to be there for them. And I've used that a few times with both of my girls. So that's the story I love to retell to them and then bring back up. So
I love that. I'm going to try it. Is it a book?
The Rabbit Listened. Yeah, it's a book. I also just love the animation. So
got it. I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah.
8:56. It's Labor Day. I looked it up a while ago. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Ryan, if you don't know it, it's fine too. Why do we celebrate Labor Day?
Labor Day, I think it's just basically appreciating everything that the um, military has basically done for our country. I
Oh,
believe
that's
it's part
awesome.
right. And I think I'm going to stop talking there, which now makes me feel like I need to look more into Labor Day.
Um, Same here.
It's
So
different
we're
than
gonna we're
Memorial
gonna.
Day, right? So
What's up?
it's different than
Memorial
Memorial.
Day. Yep, we're honoring those. We're honoring in memoriam, and then Veterans Day, and then
This is like
yeah,
active, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Um, but whatever you're doing for Labor Day, I'd love to hear it. See it in the chat. Um, at some point, I keep saying I'm going to go live on Twitch and build Legos with my kids. I might do that today. I don't know. If you ever see a stream pop up that says Legos, you know what's going on. Because my kids really like Legos, so I bought myself a Lego the other day to see if I could enjoy it like they do. And I assume they're just going to come and bother me while I'm trying to build my Lego, and then I'll tell them to go away while they tell me to go away, and just kind of do like the role reversal thing. But I'd have them help me too. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but school starts on Thursday for us. We still need to go school shopping, and get some kids some new clothes, some new sneakers. My son really wants a Mario book bag. I might go to Josh's house now and see if he's still outside and bother him. Go poke the bison, and it's going to be a great day. Um, so Ryan, do you want to go home today, or do you want to go home tomorrow?
I there's like two things. I would like to go kayaking again with my dad, just as like a father son thing. There is a store here that we always kind of frequent that was closed yesterday due to some family issues. It looked like, as per a note on their door. So I think we're gonna either go home late or very early tomorrow. So we'll see.
Do you have any other stories you want to share before, since we're on story day?
No, I think we did a good job. I think the overall theme we discussed, I think, pretty well. But keep in mind the the idea of the month. If there is a way that we can maybe become better storytellers, or I would push everyone listening to maybe try to think about becoming a better storyteller. I know I have like an outline, like a really simple outline of like how to make a thought into a story. And so I'll share maybe tomorrow
I'd
that
love to see that.
with your kids.
And I'm probably going to say this every day this month, but if there's a book that's really impacted your life, or a book that you think every kid should read, please share on X and why. And I'd love to have like a whole list at the end of the month of all these different books. I know, Craig, you said the Four Agreements is huge. So if you'd love to share why that is, Robbie, I'd love to hear why life expectancy is a huge one for you on X. And I want to check all these books out too. So right now I'm taking taking a break from nonfiction, and I'm reading some Star Wars novels, because reading can be fun too. So there you go. All right, that's all I got. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Ryan, any final thoughts?
Quickly, final thoughts. It's on my mind, so I feel like I need to say it. Is please, guys, just think about your health right now. Just posted something on just knowing how many push-ups you can do. That's really associated with a longer lifespan and healthier heart. Same thing with steps. I would love if anyone does not kind of know where their health status is right now, please just take today, schedule an annual checkup with your doctor, get some blood work. I'd be happy as a clinician to look over your blood labs with you. But do something to check how many push-ups can you do in a minute right now. Go look at my post, see what's associated with less heart disease, as heart disease is the number one leading cause of death. I think I'm saying all this just because I've been with my dad all weekend, and it's just making me think about how much time I have left with him and
Oh yeah,
keeping him healthy. So I would want to make sure that if we have a chance to positively affect any other dad's life to be around for your kids more, please do it. So thank you for that podium for a second.
love
But
it.
love you guys. I'll sign off, guys. I hope
Love
your
you. Have a
mugs
good day, everybody.
stay filled with coffee and your heart's gratitude.
And Robbie said, "You have one meat suit. Take care of yourself." And Craig wanted us to finish with "Enjoy every moment." So, bye, guys. Happy Labor Day. Later, Gator. And a wild crocodile.